1932. A nation stricken by
movement in Cobb County. After almost a year, we have waited long enough for the Cobb Commission to change or rescind their original resolution. We have been told that the issue is over and done with. But for those of us concerned about human rights and concerned about the image of Cobb County, the issue is not over until a compromise solution is reached. We have been told that we must wait, that if we will only be quiet for but a little while, the Cobb Commission will address this issue. For those of us who have been told to wait, I can only remember the words of Martin Luther King Jr.'s letter from a Birmingham jail. As Dr. King so succinctly put it, wait almost always means never. Ultimately, we believe, as Dr. King believed, that a justice deferred is a justice denied. Because we cannot wait forever, and because injustice demands speech and action rather than silence and acquiescence, today we announced a human rights rally to be held 3 months from now here on the Marietta Square on Sunday, August the 28th at 4 p.m. This date reverberates in history because it is the 31st anniversary of Martin Luther King and John Lewis's March on Washington for Civil Rights. On August the 28th, we too will assemble near the seat of government, across from our county courthouse and our government building, to remind our leaders and our politicians that we expect better from them than pandering to bigotry and hatred. 3 months gives the Cobb Commission plenty of time to reconsider their previous actions and to meet with citizens to come up with alternative resolutions. You know, Ronald Reagan came to office 14 years ago with the overwhelming mandate to get government off of people's backs. I believe, as President Reagan did, that the government that governs best governs the least. Government should not be involved in defining which lifestyle is best for its citizens. I also believe that America is one nation under God, but that the greatness of America is that there is a separation of church and state. Religious groups should not have their individual theologies sanctioned by county government. Most of us who live in Cobb County believe in God and in the importance of Scripture for our lives. We believe that judgment of other people's lifestyles belongs to God, and that we are called, as God's children, to love one another as best we can. We also believe that our religious values are deeply personal and private, and that they should not be imposed on others who do not share them. To those who oppose homosexuality and who feel that it is the moral issue of our times, I defend your right to interpret Scripture as you choose, but I remind you that in America we have a sacred tradition of separation of church and state. What is spoken in the pulpit and in the pew on Sunday should not find its way into county resolutions on Monday. You know, when I get up in the morning and I look at myself in the mirror, I see an average human being. I am a resident of Cobb County. I am heterosexual, I am married, I am religious, I am a white male, I am a homeowner and a taxpayer. And I believe that the vast majority of heterosexuals in Cobb County believe exactly as I do, that county government should not endorse any one religious interpretation, and that county government should stay out of endorsing or condemning any one lifestyle. This is not a matter of gay rights or of specific rights for gays. Ultimately, this is a battle for human rights, and it is a battle which concerns us, or should concern us all. To those heterosexuals who believe, as I do, who believe in the American dream of freedom as preached by Dr. King, and who believe in the America free from a governmental capriciousness as expounded by Ronald Reagan, I invite you to join me in the Marietta Square on Sunday, August the 28th. Thank you very much. The minimum acceptability? Well, I think there's a variety of alternatives. There are some other speakers. I want to give them a chance. That's okay, but I'll answer your question. There were alternative resolutions which were offered last summer. There are alternative resolutions that have been offered by the Cobb Citizens Coalition. I think there are a variety of resolutions that are floating around out there that might be acceptable. And I would defer to those people who were negotiating for the Cobb Citizens Coalition because they were most intimately involved in that process.
There was a great one about the Kennesaw College people the other day.
I want to actually, there are two other speakers and then we'll take some questions. Okay? The co-chair of the Cobb Citizens Coalition.
Cobb's government has a human rights crisis on its hands. Precedents continue to be set around the country. Government discrimination based on prejudice is unconstitutional. We want to be very clear. The Cobb Citizens Coalition still stands ready to talk. The longer they refuse to hear us, the stronger we will speak out. When leaders refuse to lead, the people will. When the people lead, eventually the leaders will follow. This human rights event, titled "And Justice for All, Cobb Rally for Human Rights," speaks for itself. We ask all who share our social conscience to join us on August 28th.
And now our final speaker. There are three groups that are co-sponsoring this rally. There is my group and a group that I will try to bring together of concerned citizens, the Cobb Citizens Coalition, and finally the Network for Social Responsibility, and their chair is Leon Berry.
Last time I took part in a press conference here, Gordon Wysong referred to me as just another one of those gays with a limited idea of what wanted to go on. First of all, gay is not a bad word. Second of all, just to set the record straight, I'm not gay. My group is not gay. We just believe this is a human rights issue. And the Network for Social Responsibility's mission is to make sure that there's no discrimination against any individual in this country and in this county in particular. So we are co-sponsoring this because the gay agenda that they've had in the commission can only be termed bigotry. And we're here to see that it stops. So we're going to bring forth the straight community to assist in this march to help the gays get their rights back again that they deserve.
What kind of, are you a businessman? What is your occupation?
I'm an accountant.
And
I'm also a Republican.
Oh, you're also a Republican?
Yes, I am not a liberal left as Gordon Wysong would have you believe.
And tell me about the organization.
The organization was formed starting back January, when we started to worry about rights being taken away from individuals through erosion, through religion, interfering in politics. We're very much in favor of the separation of church and state. History proves that any time the church gets involved in politics, discrimination results. It doesn't matter what church it is. Just look at the history over time. Why was this country formed? People were trying to escape religious persecution. Well, we want to make sure this country stays that way.
Are you a Cobb County citizen?
Yes, I am.
Okay, we'll
Open for questions.
Absolutely.
Okay. Rabbi, why even give the government 3 months? Why? You know they're not going to do anything in this 3 months. Why not go on with your rally soon?
Well, as I mentioned, the rally is timed to coincide with the anniversary of Martin Luther King's March on Washington, and it also basically coincides with the 1-year anniversary of the resolution. I can't predict what the government of Cobb County is going to do. Maybe they'll change their minds within a week or 2 weeks. I really don't know.
Y'all cancel the rally?
You know, that question, we've asked that question internally. It really depends on the process and what occurs. I don't know whether we would cancel the rally or simply continue to hold the rally as a celebration for the fact that human rights exist and will continue to exist in
Any idea how many people you are expecting or hoping for?
We don't know for sure. Obviously, we're inviting everybody in Cobb who wants to be here. I guess I'd hope to have 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 people.
Do you have a permit already?
Permit has been acquired. Absolutely.
Here in the square.
For here in the square. The permit has been acquired already.
Are you hoping mainly to have Cobb County residents here, or is
I am
there a
hoping to.
following
I
up?
am hoping to have mainly the mainstream people like myself and Leon, as we spoke, the white male or female heterosexual homeowner who lives in Cobb County, who is sick and tired of the Cobb Commission and the religious diatribes and the mission that they have been on. I think most of the people who live in Cobb County are really tired of it and feel that the thing needs to be overturned, and that's who I would hope to have come. Obviously, there may be gay people who come, there may be others who come, but I think that the people who live in Cobb County are really tired of the Commission's shenanigans.
What is the name of your organization?
Well, in honor of Martin Luther King Jr., I've decided to call it the Marietta Interfaith Alliance. The initials MIA were the very first organization that Martin Luther King Jr. ever founded. It was the Montgomery Improvement Association.
Sir, have you talked to John Lewis or Coretta Scott King?
We have sent out an invitation to John Lewis. Many people remember the march as being the high point of Martin Luther King's career. People forget that John Lewis was the keynote speaker at the March on Washington. So we have sent John Lewis an invitation. I can't predict whether or not he'll come, but I hope that he will decide to come.
The people who were with you, other than Sherry Spencer Stark, who we all know, who are the rest of you?
Behind me? I don't know. I've turned my back to them.
Well, then we'll find out.
You can interview them. I don't know.
Last week that this should be their rally, should be the end of it. They asked the press and the public to lay off and let it die, since the commission has said they won't rescind it. Why, speaking for them, won't you let it die?
I have to be honest. I thought it was somewhat ironic to have a press conference at which you say, we don't want to have any more press conferences and nobody should say anything more about this. In America, where the right of freedom of speech and the right of freedom to assemble occurs, any group can get together and propound their feelings. And obviously, our feelings are very strong. As I mentioned in my remarks earlier, usually when people tell you, you need to wait and you need to be quiet, what they are saying to you is, you need to go away. And I can assure you that there are thousands of heterosexuals, thousands of people who live in Cobb County that are not interested in waiting and that are not interested in going away.
Obviously the mainline homeowner like yourself, people that are hard to get out to come to these kind of things. I've seen different rallies and stuff. It's hard to get hold of that person on the street and get them.
This is really an inappropriate action Commissioners are taking, and it's also a bad reputation for Israel in Cobb County.
Doctor, actually, I created a series called Hi Honey, I'm Gay, and I interviewed a local therapist. Yeah. Well, no, you have to pay $100 to get it, but I can tell you about